This is Captain Phillip with Airworthy Tours, your guy in the sky. And today's tour is going to be of Miami, Florida, where we'll be covering Miami's skyline, its economy, its beaches, its port, and its role in the coke industry. With that being said, let's get started. The city of Miami begins with Julia Tuttle, a wealthy widow from Ohio. Tuttle started building a settlement on a plot of land that she inherited in 1891. She envisioned a city that would be a gateway for international trade. After Tuttle convinced wealthy industrialist Henry Flagler to open a railroad to Miami, it would officially be incorporated as a city in 1896. Thus, Miami holds the distinction of being the only major city in the U.S. founded by a woman. Miami's first nickname is the Magic City, and that's because how quickly the city was established and for its rapid growth. In a 110-year span, the area's population grew from 1,000 to 5.5 million. Miami has the third largest skyline in the U.S., behind only New York City and Chicago, with over 40 skyscrapers that are 500 feet or taller, along with more than 300 skyrise buildings in total. The city has 9 of the 10 tallest buildings in the state of Florida, with the Panorama Tower being the tallest at 168 feet or 268 meters. Many of these buildings being located in an area of Miami known as Brickell, which serves as Miami's financial center. In addition, Brickell is full of luxury high-rise condos and apartments, with the median rental price being over $3,000 a month. As envisioned by Julia Tuttle, Miami is a major international hub and is the United States' largest gateway to the Caribbean and Latin America. Miami is also a major center of commerce, finances, corporate headquarters, and boasts a strong international business community. Downtown Miami has the largest concentration of international banks of anywhere in the country. Known companies headquartered in the Miami metro area include Burger King, Telemundo, Office Depot, Ryder, and the Liner Corporation, as well as every major cruise line. We'll talk more about the cruise industry later in this video. In addition, Miami serves as the headquarters of Latin American operations for many multinational corporations, including Walmart, Disney, Bacardi, Kraft Food, Microsoft, and American Airlines, with American Airlines being Miami's largest employer. With almost every Caribbean and Latin American country having a consulate general in Miami, including Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Mexico, Panama, and Peru. Our first stop is Little Havana, Miami's most famous neighborhood. Little Havana was established in the late 1950s and early 1960s when Cuban dissidents fled the country after Fidel Castro's communist regime took power in 1959. Hoping their stay would be temporary, by the 1970s and with the entrenchment of the Castro regime, the Cuban exiles began settling and establishing businesses in Little Havana and across Miami, thus allowing the exiles to maintain their Cuban culture. The main commercial section of Little Havana is settled along Calle Ocho. Here's where you'll find many Cuban restaurants and shops, and it is a great place to get a fresh hand-rolled cigar. And if you stroll along the street, you might also see a retro 1950s car. The gem of Calle Ocho is the famous and charming Maximo Gomez Park, or more affectionately known as Domino Park. Another cool part of Little Havana is the Cuban Memorial Boulevard Park, which has many monuments and memorials dedicated to the counter-Cuban Revolution. And if you're a fan of Cuban food, then Little Havana is the place for you. The most famous Cuban restaurant is Versailles. Here you can try a bunch of Cuban dishes, including paella and of course, arroz con pollo. Another cool neighborhood in Miami is Wynwood. Wynwood started off as a Puerto Rican and industrial neighborhood and was known as Little San Juan. But today it is an eclectic neighborhood full of large art murals, art galleries, restaurants, breweries, coffee shops, and more. Wynwood is also a great destination for nightlife. Our next stop is the famous or infamous Port of Miami. The Port of Miami is among the nation's busiest ports. It contributes approximately $43 billion and more than 334,000 jobs annually to Florida's economy. Over 9.5 million tons of cargo and 1 million cargo container units moves through the port each year, which, according to ContainerNews.com, makes it the 10th busiest port in the United States. However, the Port of Miami is best known as the cruise capital of the world. Prior to 2020, it served 5 million passengers annually. The port currently has 8 passenger terminals. Almost every major cruise line is headquartered in Miami, including Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean International, and Carnival Corporation. However, the pandemic had a severe impact on the cruise industry. Unlike the airline industry, the cruise industry came to a complete standstill, and that standstill lasted a whopping 450 days. And here's a crazy stat. Carnival, the world's largest cruise operator, made $20.8 billion in 2019, but lost $10.24 billion in 2020. Now, if you're looking to import a beautiful travel poster of Miami and other locations for your home, office, or home office, make sure to visit our gift shop at www.airworthyprints.com. Also, if you'd like to license some of the footage in this video and on our channel, make sure to contact us via email, which I will leave in the description box below. A difficult but relevant part of Miami's history was the city's role in the coke trade. Miami's strategic location and ties to Latin America made it a strong entry point for narcotics entering the U.S., with many of these substances coming through the Port of Miami. According to the New York Times, by 1981, Miami was responsible for trafficking 70% of the country's coke, 70% of the country's weed, and 90% of the country's counterfeit Quaaludes. And according to one study from Florida International University, at least 1/3 of the city's economic output was derived from narcotics at the time. Miami was the coveted territory of the Medellin cartel and their powerful leader, Pablo Escobar, who at his peak had an estimated net worth of $30 billion. Other well-known Miami traffickers were Griselda Blanco, Ricardo Monkey Morales, Willie Falcon, and Sal Malguda. And we have a special treat for you. Ahead is the Muni Hotel, located in Coconut Grove. The Muni Hotel once served as the de facto headquarters of the coke trade. It was here that Miami's traffickers could both escape and conduct their business in a free trade zone. The 130-room hotel boasted a prestigious nightclub downstairs too, which served as the backdrop of the Babylon Club in the movie Scarface. Oliver Stone, Al Pacino, and the rest of the cast and crew stayed in the Muni during filming. However, the notoriety of the hotel began to be too much, and the original owner sold it in 1985. The hotel will close its doors shortly after. Following a long period of bank repossession, the hotel reopened after more than a decade of abandonment in 1999 and underwent a complete renovation in 2010. And our last stop is Miami Beach. Miami Beach is one of America's most visited beaches. In 2019, 24 million people visited the Miami metro area, with many of them making a stop in Miami Beach. Miami also ranks second behind New York City as having the most international visitors. Below is Ocean Drive. This road serves as the main thoroughfare of Miami Beach due to its Art Deco hotels, cabarets, and restaurants. Ocean Drive was temporarily closed to cars beginning in May of 2020. However, cars can now go down Ocean Drive one way between 5th and 13th Street. Below is the Versace Mansion. Built in 1930, it features Mediterranean-style architecture. Gianni Versace bought the house for $2.95 million in 1992. While Versace lived here, the mansion had 8 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, 3 sitting rooms, 10 bathrooms, a bar, a library, and 4 living rooms. Tragically, Versace was killed in front of his house by Andrew Cunanan on July 15, 1997. Since 2015, the mansion has been adapted into and operates as a luxury boutique hotel known as the Villa Casa Casarina. There are more than 800 buildings that feature Art Deco architecture in Miami Beach, including Miami Beach City Hall. And that's right, Miami Beach is actually its own city. Our next video will go further into Miami Beach's history, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed today's tour, you can tip your tour guide by hitting the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel to be a part of future aerial tours. And if you'd like to see other tours of South Florida, you can do that right here. Thank you for flying with Airworthy Tours, and I look forward to seeing you on our next flight.